To the Batmobile.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Jets and Fleet Gaming. I'm Jerry the Tree Wiz, and I'm pumped to be here today. Today on the channel, we have a legend. We have SKURGER. SKURGER right now, if you take a look, he is number 5 in the world. What is going on, SKURGER?
Nothing much. Legend is a little extreme, but it's good to be here.
Yeah, right. I know somebody said, when you say you're bringing pros on the channel, what does that mean? And I said, well, there really aren't any World War Doe like pros yet, but we're what we got. So you're number 5 in the world. You are a pro to me. Man, when we played the other day and you used this deck on me with Invisibility, it blew my mind. So I just want to start. Well, I'm going to jump into the, let me look at the messages. I'm going to jump into this Moss Noob replay. So whenever you have it pulled up, we'll jump into it at the same time.
Okay, yeah, just 1 second, because I think the one in Discord's wrong.
Oh, I have the one in the, I'm looking at the one inside of the game.
And yeah, I'm there too, so I'm good when you are.
Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, watch. So you say Greevil's probably really important with this, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like my main focus in this a lot. Sometimes people will pressure you, and you can't really build up a Greevil push, so you should probably abandon it. But most of the time, people are a little passive, and that's what really catches up with people in this deck. So the number 1 card, obviously, is like Porta Potty, but Greevil is kind of secondary there, and you can really use Invisibility and Dome to support those cards. So I honestly forget what happens in this replay, but Moss Noob always goes pretty hard on Health Tower first. So I just kind of... Here's the thing with this card, is I kind of feel like it levels the playing field for lower card players versus higher card players. I'm letting him take my tower at this point because I really don't care. He's going to take it anyway.
I've watched you do that so many times where you go for the dough barrel and let them take the towers, and I'm like sweating watching your replays. But I have to admit, your replays are some of the funnest replays to watch, for sure. And I've watched a lot of replays.
Yeah, the clown car stuff probably gets old after a while, but this one's definitely fresh and fun.
Yeah, but I like to see the clown car used professionally, like at the top. I like to see cards. I hate seeing the same decks at top ladder, which I don't think it really is that. Like, I liked how you just mentioned Moss Noob's playstyle. That means you guys really are pros. You guys at the top have started to identify each other's playstyles. It's like watching sports for me.
Yeah, or you just get beat by them enough that you finally figure it out. So, but this is his spawner deck, which he's not as good with. Usually after he gets beat with this, he goes back to the bunker.
Yeah, that's the only deck I've played him with. He's bunkered me a lot.
Yeah. So, all right. So back to like the spawner stuff. I kind of like was not paying attention too much what's going on here. But the thing with the spawner and why it's so powerful is obviously you get $5 for 7 dough, which is effectively 15 dough on the field if they all pop. But this spawner is way different because bucks have like probably medium HP. The other spawners, like he's using Beehive, those are 2-shot by your commander instantly with a buck. The piranhas are a little bit tankier, but you can manage them. Buck is a medium HP unit, plus is doing a lot of damage. So you can almost play this spawner like a Catling gun, because it immediately spawns a buck, so that's your defense. So they have to take damage to the face of your buck, your commander, your tower, and they can't really do anything. And now I'm just pushing up on the map because I don't care. He can't do anything at this point. He's low health. And he's got Rage Tower down, and the bucks are all kind of spaced out, so it doesn't matter to me.
Did you do the math on that to figure that really impressed me just there when you said that it was 15 dough total on the map for 7 because it was $5 that come out. That's impressive. Did you just watch how many come out and commit that to memory?
Well, I think it says it all in the card description.
Gotcha. Still though, that's good to know though. And I was wondering if it really is. It seems like OP on paper and OP when you watch it, but also when I got it, I unlocked it at level 8, and that's level 10 bucks coming out. And for my trophy range, a lot of people are still using not a lot of level 10 cards. Level 9 is more common, but I do see a lot of over-leveled bucks. But it is nice that right when I got the card, I'm already popping out level 10 bucks. That's convenient.
Yeah, the challenge was like definitely pretty forgiving in how many cards it gives you.
How did you approach the challenge? What kind of decks were you using for that? That was wild.
Yeah, I did. I think I shared it in our Discord, but it was basically just piranhas. Vanish was the core of it, and then I would just play piranhas, then immediately vanish one, and then play them again. and just protect with dome and pressure.
That's what I was kind of trying to say in the video that I did about it, but my problem was I had like level 5 piranhas, and I was saving all my money so I could upgrade the...
Oh, yeah.
So I had a really hard time because my piranha tank and my piranhas were pretty low, but I ended up using Vanish to spam the piranha tank, and it just took me playing people that didn't win a while because it was really hard without the piranhas. I am going to jump into this sweaty replay real quick, the second one you shared with his permission.
Okay.
I'm excited to get him on here too.
Let me open it. I closed the app because I thought we might do the Raja one, but that's fine.
Actually,
yeah,
cool.
So the sweaty, like, all right, yeah, I talked to him. He's probably the best Van Gun player in the game right now.
I started it. Let me back up. I'm going to start it at the same time as you.
Okay, yeah, just 1 second. Let me pull up our messages. So, like, our matches are always good, man. It's like a back and forth of counters. But I think he's figured out my clown car thing at this point because I can't counter his discombobulator array, really.
Are you using invisibility with clown car?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, this one is not pulling up an app. Let me just launch it from this. Wait, cool. I didn't send it in Discord.
No rush. Everything you say is like some of the most valuable stuff that's been on. I mean, I just give opinions. You have facts here. This is good stuff. This is valuable content for me. I'm lucky to be hearing this stuff. It's nice that I'm starting to actually get kind of good at this game from all the, like, I'm like the kitchen sink of everybody's comments of tips.
No, yeah, it's cool, man. It's like you're kind of like the central point to get stuff out for like tips and stuff. It's really nice.
You guys know what's up. All right, we're ready with SKURGER. Ready? With the sweaty replay. 3, 2, 1. Watch. Cool.
All right, let me know when your timer starts counting now because I was a little early.
It is... The match has started.
Okay.
Yep, 3 minutes.
So, okay, so like I said, Sweaty is like the best Van Gun player in the game right now. He also has a YouTube channel, so go check that out too. But there's... honestly, this deck is pretty frustrating because there's not a lot that people can do against it. Mostly for the reasons that I said in the last match. But what you'll also notice is the bucks, I think it's 6.5 seconds is the time in between each buck. So he's popping Rage here. This isn't really probably a good example, but it's decent. So he shot my first buck. Then he had to shoot my second buck. Now he has to shoot the third buck. Now he's out of Rage. I have 2 more bucks in the hopper.
Wow.
And now I can just stack Greevils. I can stack units, Major Fire. I don't really care about this Van Gun. I'll heal up after this, and then I'll snipe it.
Wow.
So that's why this thing is so powerful, because it actually, you would think them being clumped up is better, but it's actually better when they're spaced out. So Airstrike is the obvious counter to that, but with Shield, I don't really care if I lose a buck or 2 because I'm just going to queue up another one when I stack Greevils.
Yeah, so you're going for the barrier on the Porta Potty and maybe your Greevils if you're close to it, but not... Yeah, gotcha.
So, yeah, there's also another really cool play that you can do. It's a little dependent of when the bucks spawn, but... So I use Invisibility a ton, right? Mm-hmm. If he comes over to pressure, I'm just going to throw Invisibility on myself and the Greevils when he pops Rage.
That impresses me how you're able to predict when they're coming for you. You get it at such a... See, the timing there was just crazy how well that worked out. He got lucky getting some splash damage, but the Greevils stay invisible. Invisible Greevil is crazy. I almost was like, should I bring you on the channel because you're going to give the secret away and everybody's going to be using invisible Greevils now. I'm like, oh, man. And I can't wait for the other replay where you steal, you turn yourself invisible and your Greevils, and then you steal his whole dough barrel while you're invisible. It's just
pro strats, baby.
It's one of my, I think, like my favorite play I've ever seen right now, and I haven't seen anyone else do it. So yeah, extremely cool.
It's funny so like the funniest thing about Invisibility is like when they pop Rage early and then you throw Invisibility on everything and the commander just stops because it can't target anything. I laugh every time.
I love it. It makes me love the card too, because at first I really didn't like the card. I'm like, oh, you just turn the clown car invisible. It's frustrating. Nope, it's a very skilled card, and when you use it right, it's so cool, and I'm sure it's so rewarding to get it like that. Back to what you said about Sweaty, you guys should go sub to his channel. I'll make sure to throw the link in the description. I think he just brought Punisher on, who we called the greatest player in the world, but we maybe now have the greatest player in the world on SKURGER playing one of the other greatest players, Sweaty.
Oh,
long story short, go sub to Sweaty's channel. It's awesome. I really enjoy the content. Man, that replay was good. Good job, Sweaty. Good job, SKURGER. Sweet.
Thank you.
I'm having a good time with these replays. This is good.
They definitely are fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And Sweaty's replays are good too. I always like watching his. His replays are fun. It's cool how all of you have a flair or a style with it's pretty cool. The game has a lot of options for people to develop a sort of identity with the way that they play. Very, very cool. Much different than Clash Royale when you would just have your identity was like, I'm a Lava Hound player. You know this? It's like,
right. Yeah.
You kind of can get the scent of what they're going to do. All right, I'm going to hop over to Discord real quick. We were just talking a little bit, and you mentioned that invisibility on buildings, which is pretty cool. And I was saying that it's instead of thinking it like invisibility, it's kind of like thinking it like untargetable. You make something untargetable until it shoots. So things that don't shoot are awesome, like Greevil in buildings.
Exactly. Cheerleaders, Greevil, buildings that obviously don't attack things. Clown car is the obvious one. Those are the most powerful ones with invisibility.
There you are at his dough barrel. Man, I never do that. And you always do that. And all the pros do
he actually played me right there, and I think I get taken out of like half health here.
Level 13
but I think
piranhas.
I do it later in this match.
Yeah. Cool to see somebody using Tank Arena.
Yeah, it's pretty good at max level. Like
no help
like
with Ray. with Ray everywhere, it's like, ugh. Man. Yeah, I would think you were definitely going to lose this match right now. Right now, it looks like you're going to lose, but you're invisible, stealing the dough barrel.
Yeah. So all right. So I popped Disc Ray on this thing just to kind of save my tower for a little bit because I knew Bucks would start to spawn, and he has to leave right here at a certain point. He can't just keep taking this damage.
Man, the Discord.
But I know I'm going to lose the tower anyway, so I don't really care.
That Ray was such a pro play too. These are I guess what I mean by pro play is I would never do that. I have such a rubric for how I play. It's like I'll see you leaking dough too. I'm like, play the card. You're leaking dough, and it's like you win. It's crazy. I need to reframe the way that I think about things and play less like a robot and more like a person.
Well, I wouldn't recommend leaking dough. I know there's a bug in replays that shows like you're just capping barrels forever. I keep a pretty good eye on that. I don't do that a lot, but I've noticed there is a bug.
I think it's actually right here, where it looks like you're leaking for a bit, and then you end up playing
this might actually. I think I actually am for real.
Like right here, and you start moving your buck shacks closer and closer. Yeah. Wow.
So he just kind of lets me get away with it here, but I also don't think he knows what I'm running. So, okay, that invisibility on the buck spawner too is pretty good. I wanted to kind of say something about this. It's kind of situational, but think about like if you have a tower up and then have your building right next to it, you can throw invisibility on it to save it. But if a buck pops out immediately, it's still going to get targeted, and then it's going to take damage because of splash damage, and then it'll get destroyed. But I have saved it a couple times. You just kind of have to like, honestly, just gamble on it, and sometimes it works out. It's not as reliable as Greevil.
So that when the buck comes out, it doesn't reveal itself. It still stays invisible. It only happens when it gets targeted, if like splash damage or something.
Right. It's the best time to do that is if they don't have rage, but they just disc ray it. So you can just disc ray it, and then obviously the commander damage is not going to do splash damage. So your building will stay fine, but your one buck will die. But who really cares about one?
Right. Especially when you've got the porta potty. I didn't think I was going to like it just because I'm not a spawner fan, but I need to quit thinking that way because this is a totally different game. Spawners are kind of cool in this game. This is a commander-based game. It's not so much like a tower defense game. It's an active. Any other thoughts on the porta potty or invisibility? Man, I think you were just the guy to bring on for this. It's crazy how everything you said was like. Seemed like you wrote a report for it, and I just asked you 5 minutes before if you were able to come on. So this is just stuff you know. That's pretty impressive to me. Right now,
I played a decent amount in the last couple of days, but there is one last thing with Greevils. If you have like a stack of Greevils in your base, what I usually do is just stay in the middle of my two towers and then play Buck Tower or Buck Buildings Porta Potty on the right side of my Rage Tower to target their health tower. If they come rush you with Rage, just throw invisibility on your Greevils and then move back and forth. Like just click a bunch in the back so your commander will stay invisible and won't auto target the other commander.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess the main strategy with that deck is Greevil, porta potty. And if you can keep the Greevils alive, you'll end up with double dough time. You're going to have infinite bucks.
Yeah, man. It's fun. Check it out.
What was the clown card deck you were using? I wish I could have done, I wish you could spectate live where I could watch you do a live match.
Yeah, I'll run it again at some point.
Do you have any replays?
Not. I usually just share. Well, no, I don't really share.
No worries. I can't. You know what? I don't think we need to squeeze too much nuggets into this video. Anyways, I'd say let's do it again sometime. Let's bring on another deck that you have. Man, you have been the most informative. This has been the most informative bit of World War Dough experience for me that I've ever had. I hope you guys, the viewers, enjoy it as well. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Make sure you check out Sweaty's channel. Check out all the other content creators. SKURGER, thank you for being here for the community. Anything you want to say to anybody?
Nah, man, just thanks so much.
Awesome.
And go Dough Runners.
Go Dough. Oh, yeah, fellow Dough Runners. Little plug right there. All right, y'all. Yeah. Much love to each and every one of you. We will see you soon. I think we'll be somewhere tomorrow, so stay tuned, and we'll catch you soon. Peace.
To the Batmobile.